You've got Eliana, Media Matters. The guy who runs it, the chairman and president, this guy, Angelo Carusone or Carusone, I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce it. I see him pop up every once in a while in the New York Times or on CNN where they're trying to pretend that he's some objective media analyst instead of a partisan hack who gets paid to tear down conservatives. That's what you get paid for, Angelo. You're disgusting. Okay. You look at just a quick search of how he's spent the past 10 years. And this is just, I have my own independent memories of Media Matters, but worked as an organizer for StopBeck.com, trying to get Glenn Beck canceled. Led a pressure campaign against Rush Limbaugh. This is before Media Matters. Trying to get him canceled. In October 2012, while with Media Matters, began organizing for the Dump Trump effort, a pressure campaign formed to convince Macy's to stop its business partnership with Trump due to his role in the so-called birtherism controversy surrounding President Obama. We could keep going. Then he's got his own controversial comments where he's referred to trannies, Japs, and Jewry. Okay, so he says he can say that term Jewry because he had a Jewish boyfriend. I think it's one of those things, sir, where unless you're Jewish, you're not allowed to. Okay? Sorry. It's just not how it works. Go consult the rappers. They'll explain to you the rules of these games. In any event, it goes on, and he has been accused of anti-Semitism in the past, so on. So for this guy, they'll just print him. These same publications that are now calling Elon and Twitter anti-Semitic, they'll use him as an expert. They'll ignore what they themselves have done over the past 5 weeks. And the whole story will shift to these right-wing extremists who hate Jewish people.
And by the way, that's what makes corporations take this seriously. It's not just because some crank leftist activist group is throwing out so-called research. It's because the media will quote him as some neutral, objective observer, a media expert, and they will do the same thing to these studies, so-called studies and reports and research that they put out. So it's one thing to have a crank leftist activist group do that. It's an entirely different thing to have the media treat it as though it's not advocacy and activism and entirely ideological and partisan.
That's the thing. So, Eliana, it's amazing to watch the New York Times hit Elon Musk and Twitter for their alleged support for, anti-Semitism or Nazism. They just hired a Nazi. They just hired a guy who specifically said he loves Hitler. But they'll get totally away with that, Eliana. I don't remember the Media Matters hit piece on the New York Times. Look, how great you are, Hitler. That's what the New York Times' latest hire said. Okay, so Angelo, hello. I'm waiting for your hit piece on the New York Times. Eliana, I think we're going to be waiting a long time.
Oh, yeah. And look, what none of these people are going to say is they're all on the same team. The mainstream media and Media Matters, there's not much distinction between them. And what makes Media Matters effective is that what the business that they are really in is the ginning up of public pressure campaigns through the use of media, through the use of news stories and media to ratchet up public attention and public pressure on corporations to exact a financial, political, reputational cost to achieve their desired political outcomes. And so what we're seeing with Elon Musk and X is create news stories and negative narratives against these corporations that advertise with the goal of forcing them to pull their advertising from X with the ultimate goal of exacting, of hurting the bottom line of X and hurting Elon Musk. It was the same story with Fox News, but they're reading, they're running the same playbook with every single one of these, and they do it quite effectively because it is actually not that hard to do if you have a very friendly relationship with the mainstream media.
Mm-hmm. And so far we've had Apple, Bravo, IBM, Oracle, and Xfinity allegedly go up to pro-Nazi content. That's what Media Matters reported. And several of those have pulled their ads because Media Matters went to them and said, why are you supporting Nazis? Why are you supporting anti-Semites? Your content's all over, these posts on X. And so many of them have now pulled. By the way, Libs of TikTok reports one from Apple and one from Disney, 2 ads currently on TikTok, a different platform, being supported, by Apple and Disney, both over there supporting TikTok. Right after, days ago, they had a viral trend praising Osama bin Laden. So if you praise a guy who killed 3,000 innocent Americans, it's fine. Apple is going to continue advertising with you. But if you go over on X and generate an anti-Semitic account that then gets advertised because of the algorithm, that's it. You got it. We're out. We're taking the high ground. I mean, it's just so transparent, Emily. They want to kill X. They want to kill it because Elon runs it and they can't stand conservatives.
And will there ever be a story on the corporate hypocrisy? I mean, that is a good news story on how these decisions are made in corporations and the hypocrisy of continuing advertising on one platform while pulling it from another.
Because, and I mean, those corporations don't care about Mehdi Hassan because there's no leftist crank group that's able to masquerade itself as some neutral observer because, again, the media won't let them.
Right-wing crank group.
Right. To police speech from the other direction. And I think this is why Elon Musk has been trying really hard to build up a subscriber user base on Twitter, which is smart because in this environment, it's why, for instance, you have so many great writers that are at Substack now because companies get spooked by stupid, quote unquote, research by groups like Media Matters because part of it is that you have executives in C-suites who do get spooked by this. But the other part of it is that these news organizations and their business executives are now staffed by people who are ideologically fellow travelers with the cranks at Media Matters, the ideological cranks at Media Matters. And so on the one hand, some people are just that, they buy it. They're on the same page. And the other people are terrified of these stupid advertising controversies because Media Matters then goes to NBC and NBC reports that anti-Semitic content is being posted next to Apple content and Apple ads are boosting anti-Semitism on X. And so it's this vicious cycle that repeats itself over and over again. And one of the only ways to get around it is to have a subscriber base. And that's why, for example, so many people have taken their work to Substack. It's why Elon Musk is trying to create Twitter subscribers that get, an ad-free experience and are subscribing to individual users so that it makes advertising dollars less powerful and makes groups like Media Matters less powerful. I don't know that has worked so well for him so far because Twitter is already a pretty small slice of the population, daily users compared to Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. But you can understand why he's working really hard to make that model successful because it gives way less power to the corporate press and to their little fellow travelers at Media Matters.
It's finally here, the cbdistillery.com Black Friday sale. It's on, and it's incredible. Right now, you can get up to 40% off everything when you use the code BF2023. BF2023. Choose from a range of expert-formulated CBD and other plant-based solutions for relaxation, stress, sleep, pain after physical activity, even mood and focus. Imagine that, a calm mind and deep sleep throughout the whole night. Sounds amazing, right? No artificial colors, flavors, preservatives, or sweeteners, just 100% clean ingredients. Don't miss this massive sale and get up to 40% off your order. Visit cbdistillery.com and enter the code BF2023. What does BF stand for? Best friend? I could think of some other things. I'm just skipping them in my head. cbdistillery.com. Enter BF2023. cbdistillery.com. Not available in Idaho, Iowa, and South Dakota. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.